What's good, everybody? This is the TheGameHuntah channel with another episode of Clash Royale, and in this episode we're gonna fight against a spammer. Okay, spammer is a player who uses a lot of Barbarian Hunt, use Tombstone, and also use the Goblin Hunt. It's one of the most difficult matches once that you reach arena 5 and 6, if I'm not wrong, because the amount of unit that the spammer can actually bring to the battlefield is overwhelming. It's overwhelming, especially because the Tombstone still give you 6 skeletons when that you destroy that building, which is something that's going to change in the next patch, right? And in the future patch, every time that you destroy the Tombstone, you're going to have only 4 units coming out from that destroyed building. But for now, it's a really powerful card. Only costs 3 elixir and people use it a lot. The other one, as I mentioned before, is the Goblin Hunt. Goblins are another unit that is becoming really popular. Again, if you see these units popping up from the Goblin Hunt, you are in trouble. Goblin Hunt plus Barbarian Hunt together, it's a big combo and really difficult to stop. What is the other one? Of course, the Barbarian Hunt, the ones that I was showing you a few minutes ago. So how can you deal with players like that? It is difficult. It is super difficult. I believe cards like the Valkyrie is a good one because you can take care of the massive group, big groups of units. For example, goblins and skeletons. I believe the best crowd control unit in the game so far is the Wizard. That is probably one of the cards that you're gonna see a lot in many people's deck, because the Wizard can actually do some decent damage, can do some damage against minions, goblins, barbarians. So that's another unit that you might want to have in your deck when you battle against spammer decks. The other one that I believe is really useful, and it's becoming one of my favorite ones, is the Bomber. Crowd control, splash damage is great. So if you come across a group of barbarians that are pushing towards your base and you have a bomber, you can do some decent damage. So let's go to a couple battles before jumping into this spammer match. You guys are ready? Let's roll. All right, let's go against this battle just to warm up a little bit. We're going with the archers, barbarian, tombstone, hog rider, and my opponent has a knight, Britney Spears, minions, and wizard. Let's get this party rolling. A lightning. Ooh, you gotta be careful. Lightning is one of those really powerful cards that we're gonna analyze in the next spotlight card. Britney Spears coming from the left side, got a tombstone, which is gonna start spamming a little bit, just a small amount of level 8 skeletons, which is not bad. I mean, the level of those skeletons is quite decent. But one more time, you have a wizard in the middle, you can control and you can defend your base without any issues. See the blizzard and the Valkyrie were able to destroy that big group of barbarians, skeletons, and Britney Spears that are pushing from the left side. That's why I'm showing you this replay. See, there is some things that you need to understand. Some cards are really good countering spammers, so that's what I want to show you, how good are the Wizard and the Valkyrie in this battle against my units, right? Now with 2 Tombstone, things can get a little bit ugly for the right side of the map, right? My opponent is gonna have a hard time, especially if I decide to deploy the Hog Rider to go and attack the top right corner tower. Nice counter with Tombstone. Like I mentioned before, Tombstone is really difficult because it's a card that spam 6 skeletons once that you destroy the Tombstone. So really powerful card that, like I mentioned before, is gonna get nerfed really soon. Bomber helping me a little bit. One more time, Valkyrie. Look at this Valkyrie destroying massive amount of units, and she keep pushing forward, bringing down skeletons without any problem. Even there's a big group of skeletons, she's the one who can handle this kind of pressure. Okay, like I said before, this is why I wanted to show you this replay before going into the main dish of this episode, because Valkyries and Wizards are so good countering these units, so good countering massive amount of units. Left side is gonna get a little bit tough. We have a knight, we have a blizzard, a wizard, but I was able to deploy a group of barbarians right on time. Look at that bomber now. Look at that bomber bringing down my level 8 barbarians like butter, man. One more time, I got the Valkyrie taking care of everything. That is so powerful. And the Valkyrie, note, Valkyrie is gonna increase the speed of her attack in the next patch. So definitely a card that you might wanna upgrade. One more time, Valkyrie and Wizard were capable to stop all my units on this track. I don't even remember if I win or lost this battle. The lightning deadly, super deadly, and we're gonna start pushing forward from the left side with Barbarian, Bomber, and the Hawk Rider, and that is the key. That's the moment of truth of this battle. Fireball was able to take care of the Valkyrie and also the minions, and that's victory for me. really close and clutch victory using the Tombstone, using Britney Spear, using Barbarians, using the Wizard, and that's becoming my favorite deck so far. Alright, so now let's get ready and let's fight against a big spammer. One of the things that you need to understand when you fight against a spammer is that chances are that 3 stars or 3 crowns is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be really difficult. So just go for the easy win. Don't get too crazy. Don't try to overthink too much. Remember, if you destroy 1 tower, that's all you need to win the battle, all right? And you wanna get trophies. You don't really care about the crowns unless you're trying to unlock one of the chests. But that's not the point. The point is that don't go crazy. Don't try to go for 3 crowns in every single battle because it's super difficult. And against spammers, it is even more. Alright, so let's go. I got a Bomber, Tombstone, Britney Spears, Barbarian. My opponent, Elixir. Ooh, Elixir Factory, Tombstone, Barbarian Hut, and also the Goblin Hut. So things can get super crazy. You guys are gonna see so many units on the battlefield. It's not even funny. I don't think I ever saw that many units like in this battle. Barbarian Hut in the middle, classic star. I'm gonna start pushing from the right side with some Barbarians and also with my Tombstone. Now I start getting in trouble. See, Barbarian Hut plus Tombstone could be an issue. But unfortunately, lucky me, he decided to put the Tombstone in front of the Barbarian, which probably wasn't a good idea. Maybe the Tombstone will be more useful if you put it close to the tower or behind one of the towers, right? Because that way, at least you can have a couple of skeletons spamming from there before get destroyed. And those skeletons can support those Barbarians that are coming from the left side. Let's start pushing from the right side with some skeletons. Ooh, minions. But one more time, Wizard taking care of those little things. Wizard is like, say, crowd control unit. Crowd control unit. That's a unit that you're gonna see a lot in some more advanced decks, right? Because it's so useful. Besides the fact that it does a lot of damage against towers, you can easily destroy a whole minion horde coming with just one Wizard. Oof! Things are getting nasty. Tombstone, Goblin Hut. And the Elixir Factory is a problem for me, right? Because that means that he's going to be able, or she is going to be able, to get those buildings more often. And at one point you're really going to be in trouble because it's really difficult to counter this big amount of units. Skeletons helping me, archers also on defense. And look at the big group of Britney Spears targeting the bottom left corner. I was super lucky that I got my archers in position and also my tower to stop that madness. Otherwise, I won't be able to do it. My opponent is going to probably deploy... I think he's trying to deploy the Barbarian Hut. I think so. He's waiting for that. Fireball to destroy one of the Elixir Factory. Otherwise, I really don't want to give them the opportunity to spam more units in such a short period of time. Now we have 2 Goblin Hut. We got 1 Barbarian and 1 Tombstone, and he start pushing forward from the left side with a big group of troops. In the meantime, I decided to go from the right side. Hawk Rider doing some decent damage. Britney Spears giving me some support. Look at how crazy the screen is getting right now. There is units everywhere. We got big fights in both sides of the map. Let's go, Hawk Rider. Let's see if we can destroy that. Perfect. 1 tower down. The only thing that I have to do at this point is to go in a more defensive stand. Wizard, perfect to destroy all those minions. Nice. Now I got my goblins. I got my, Britney Spears. I got the Bomber, who's gonna help me big time to control that big group of units that are coming. Look at the amount of troops that are coming from the left side. Between minions, skeletons, Britney Spears, Barbarian. It is so crazy, and I still was able to survive. Like I said, you need to be super smart when you play against a spammer because it's not easy. It's really not easy, and a lot of people get frustrated. I always receive messages on Facebook, on my Twitter account, asking me, how do you deal with that? Because it's so difficult to stop. Well, you have to be aggressive. You need to have in your mind which units do you have and when you're gonna deploy on the battlefield. Sometimes it's really important to save one of the wizards. Don't deploy the wizard just for offensive purposes. Just wait until your opponent start pushing forward with all those units that are coming from the Barbarian Hut, the Goblin Hut, and the Tombstone. Guys, this is the Game Hunter. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Clash Royale. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.